Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Florian Bifar, an 11th grade student here at Loyola-Gymnasium. I am honored to be the first moderator for today's show of special edition Loyola Talks. Since the majority of our students uses English as a second language, we will proceed with the discussion in English. We have the great privilege of welcoming His Excellency, Mr. Jörn Rohde, the Ambassador of Germany to Kosovo. Ambassador Rohde, thank you for being with us today.
Yeah. Thank you for having me here. It's, I think, my 10th visit to Loyola, so I feel at home here.
That's good to hear. Unless, Ambassador Rohde, you have something else to add, we shall continue with the questions we have prepared. Some slight questions, nothing too complicated. As first, we wanted to ask you, you are an ambassador of Germany to Kosovo since 2020. What was your first thought when you heard you were being assigned to Kosovo?
You know, I actually had Kosovo on my list before it was, which, as was mentioned by Mr. Jan, I was far away in India and Sri Lanka, and I wanted to be closer to home. So I put only European places on my list, and I had been for the first time in Kosovo in 2002 after the war. And at that time it was really very difficult. I mean, I remember the situation. It was winter, cold, yes. And when I came 18 years later, the whole place had totally transformed. So it was a good choice, and I like it, and especially the relationship Germany-Kosovo, you know. I mean, when you go on Pristina airport, sometimes it feels like a German or Swiss regional airport because so many planes go to Switzerland or Germany every day.
Yeah, that's lovely to hear. I think since you have had to do a lot with the Kosovarian people and population, you would also have maybe something about the Kosovarian mentality that surprises or maybe confuses you.
I mean, what I really find, which is not very German, is sometimes in Kosovo things are organized at the last minute and then they work.
Yes.
In Germany we plan and plan and plan, and then it sometimes doesn't work, like the airport in Berlin. So sometimes maybe the Kosovo approach is better.
Do you think it's a better approach to leave things at last minute?
No, I think the middle ground is always the best way.
In the middle, yes. Even though Germans are usually known to organize things thoroughly and take their time, right?
Yes, but as I said, if you plan too much, you get lost on the way. So you have to have a healthy mix.
Yes, you have to find the middle.
Yeah, creativity
exactly.
Mixed with planning.
Is there anything about the collaboration between Kosovo and Germany that excites you the most?
I mean, you know, collaboration means people interacting, and that's, I think, the most important thing. Whether it's politicians or you, when some of you visit Germany or German students come here, you know, our two people have a special relationship, because a lot of you, I'm sure, have relatives in German-speaking countries, whether it's Germany, Switzerland, yes, or Austria, and that creates a special bond.
Do you think we have, other than political connections or as a post of an ambassador, the population of Kosovo, I think, are quite close to the German population? If you have an opinion on that?
Yeah, I mean, as I said, you have more German cars here than in Germany.
That's true.
You know, 80% of the cars are German. Even when I saw the waste truck today, I saw a Berlin sign on it. Or, you know, just today there was a statistics. Kosovo, Germany is the biggest import partner of Kosovo. I mean, you go in a drugstore, Rossmann here in Prizren, yeah, exactly, or, you know, a lot of products are even, the German labeling is there. So that's unique. I don't find this anywhere in the world.
We trust the German engineering.
Yeah, not always, but most of the time.
Most of the time, yes. What advice would you give to a Kosovar student who wants to become an ambassador one day?
You know, very general advice. Be curious and be open, always open all your life to new experiences and new things. never have a closed mind. And, if it's the right thing for you, of course, you should be interested in politics.
What helped you throughout your way to achieving this post of being ambassador that you would say would maybe help other students as well?
Now, first I did what I wanted to do. I studied what I wanted to study and not what my father told me to study. My father wanted to become an engineer, but I was never excellent at mathematics. So I studied what I wanted to study. That was fun. And when you have fun what you're doing, then I suppose you're good at it. If you're forced to do something which is not your first choice, the chance is high that you're bored. And the worst thing I think is when you're bored when you're working, because you have to do a thing a very long time.
Exactly. So in your opinion, it's better to stay at heart, do something that you love doing.
Yeah, and that's what I did. And then I entered the Foreign Service. I mean, it's not that glamorous what you think. We are civil servants, we sit a lot of our time in the office and we write reports.
Yes.
But we also do things like this here. And, I feel like a pop star, but I'm not.
I mean, it's lovely. It's quite the position. You cannot say that it is something simple to achieve. And I think many students of our school also have it in their mind to achieve these sorts of positions. It's not always, we also have the mentality to listen to our parents, but I think most of us will do what we love.
Yeah, I also told my 4 kids, do what you want to do, and then you are good at it. I never told them what they should study. Plus, it's a banality, but life is full of unexpected turns.
Of course.
And again, stay curious all your life. I think that would be my advice.
Thank you. What would you say if you had to write a book about your whole experience in Kosovo? What would the title be?
Let me think.
Yes, of course.
A lot of issues, solutions, sometimes yes, sometimes not, and if yes, on short notice.
We like to keep it short here and do it quickly. You think, I like your opinion on how Kosovarians usually leave the things last minute, but they keep it short and make it quick. Think that's a better solution to problems?
No, sometimes solutions require, it's not a sprint. It's like sometimes a marathon. And again, we are coming back, you have to have a healthy mix. It's like mathematics, you have to be at it and can't do it in 10 seconds.
Of course.
Other things you can do fast. And I also try to finish things fast, which I don't like sitting in the office,
To try to get the time by faster.
Yeah.
What is the most unexpected thing you've learned during your time here?
Be always prepared for a surprise. And on a positive note, what I like very much, what I will miss when I go back to Germany is the hospitality of people. You interact very easily. And I just came back from Berlin 1 week, where people are sometimes not as friendly as here, to put it that way. But maybe it has to do with, big city syndrome. In big cities, life is fast and people don't have time. And, it's good to have time and have time for a chat. And these things I will miss.
Since you mentioned us being quite friendly and hospitality, do you think we are this way because only of our country's size, or it's just in our blood, our population?
No, I think people are all over the region. They are friendly and hospitable. And I think especially in Kosovo, where family plays a big role, you used to have very big families and
Yes.
rely on each other. you needed to rely on family because the state wasn't there, especially in the Kosovo history, where there was a lot of bad things happening with the war, and I think this is a tradition which should be cherished, no? That you can rely on family, and that people help each other.
Since you mentioned it, do you think, or would you like to bring this to Germany as well, the hospitality that we have here in Kosovo?
Yeah, but it's a bit difficult with 84 million people.
It's a bit difficult to change.
Yeah, and but I can assure you, once I go back, I will come back. I've made a lot of friends here, and as I said, thousands of Kosovo citizens are traveling forth and back to Germany or Switzerland every week. No?
That's lovely. And the thing about it is, I think we always welcome anybody, not just tourists, but from other countries. We're always friendly and try to have like a warm place, just to make the people feel like they're home.
Yeah.
And if you were a student at Loyola-Gymnasium, what subject do you think you'd be best at, and what would be your worst subject?
I mean, I was always good in history, and not much else. No, I was really bad in, not very good in mathematics or also science at my time, because we didn't have teachers when I went to school. My teachers, they weren't even teachers. We had, for example, physics teachers, which was a colleague of my father's. There were no teachers. And when I was in grade 5, the graduating students from grade 13 were teaching us geography. So students were teaching young students because there were no teachers. And that was maybe not always the best pedagogic approach, but it had to be done because there were no teachers available. And there were a lot of retired teachers. I had one teacher who was already 70, when I had Latin. So mathematics really was a subject with which I struggled.
Was quite the problem.
Yeah.
Do you think, since us students, our main focus is on grades, and what is your opinion on how they affect our life after school, after middle school, when we try to continue and find our path, what we want to do in our life?
I think that's difficult to answer generally. I can only, from my experience, my grades weren't super. My kids' grades weren't super. One of my boys, he was actually one of the worst students. I had a lot of discussions with him, and he's now a teacher. And he's a very good teacher because he knows he has done everything at school you shouldn't do, and when something happens, he knows what the students are at. Yeah, so he's a very good teacher.
Well, that's lovely to hear. Do you think that students that sometimes try to find a way out of the system, to do things a little in a shorter way, maybe faster way, maybe more efficient way, do they maybe have an advantage?
Yeah, I mean, my school time was without smartphone, or, we wrote things on our hand when we wanted to cheat. So I did also a lot of things which teachers should not and shall not tolerate.
Yes.
And, of course you take shortcuts, but in the end, there's two. Students need teachers who are motivated, who can teach things. You can bring any subject in a boring way or in a more interesting way. And
exactly.
That's why good teachers bring good students. Bad teachers, don't motivate students, and then so it's a two-way street.
Depends on the interaction.
Yeah.
All right, I want to thank you very much for sharing these insights, Ambassador Rohde. I now will hand over the moderation to my fellow friend here. I want to thank you for your time.
Thank you. Thanks.
Hello everyone, my name is Indra Shazubi and I'm in the 6th grade. I'm really excited to be here and ask some fun and maybe a bit unexpected questions to our guest, Ambasador Rohde. I hope you're ready for some creative thinking. So, the first question is, what were you like as a student? Were you the quiet one, the talkative one, or the one always in trouble?
I was more a quiet one, I would suppose, but I was in trouble anyways, because for a long time I played football and did not study much.
Interesting. What is the funniest or most unusual thing that has happened to you in Kosovo?
The most unusual thing? That's, I have to think again.
Also, sorry to interrupt, but it doesn't have to be a singular experience. It could be like a recurring thing.
Yeah. No, I remember one occasion when I was meeting a minister, and usually when you meet a minister, they put flags on the table. And it happened twice to me that ministers put not the German flag, but the Belgian flag on the table, because it's the same colors, but the other way around. So I was pointing that out and saying, no problem, but they were deeply embarrassed.
Okay. Have you ever tried to negotiate a price at the market like us Kosovars do? If not, shall we test your negotiation skills? If you were to try and buy this book from me.
Yes, I've done that because, as Martin Jannes said, I lived in Asia for a long time, and there you have to always haggle. And I always used to say, what, you want to sell me this book for 10 euros? I have 4 kids. I'm a poor man, 4 kids, I have to work. So give me a better price. So I can haggle, I guarantee you.
That works. Which is harder, learning Albanian or eating flia for 3 hours straight?
I avoided both. Sorry, I'm a bit lazy. I did flia once, but only for TV, so I can't really cook flia.
Okay. Imagine Kosovo and Germany switched weather for a year. How do you think people would react?
I didn't understand.
Imagine Kosovo and Germany switched weather for a year. How do you think people would react?
Germany, it depends where you live. Where I live in Germany, in the north, you wouldn't want to switch because we have 250 days of rain a year in North Germany. So I'm not sure whether you will be as nice anymore when you lived in North Germany. And because it's never warm and it's never really cold. It's very English climate.
Okay. If you could take one thing from Kosovo and bring it to Germany, what would it be?
What I would bring?
Yeah.
I would bring, as I said already, I would bring back the hospitality and a good raki.
If you were stranded on a deserted island with one Kosovar celebrity, who would it be and why? Be honest.
My daughter and my sons would say, you bring Dua Lipa. I would not resist that. Then I would bring Albin Kurti to convince him to do the right thing. And I would bring some football players because I like to play football and I need some exercise.
Okay. Thank you for playing along with my questions. Now it's time for a bit of competition between you and me. For this, Alea will have to come up here and assist us with some stuff.
Thank you.
Hello, Ambassador. Hello, everyone. I'm Alia Rohde from the 8th grade, and now it's time for some fun and a friendly competition. We're going to play a game of Kahoot, and it's called Kosovo versus Germany. And our 2 contestants will be Ambassador Rohde and our moderator, Andy.
Good.
So, get ready and let's start. First question, which country eats more bread per person per year? So the correct answer is Germany. Germany eats over 80 kilograms per person annually. Germany has more than 3,200 types of bread. Who drinks more coffee per person? So, the correct answer is Kosovo. Kosovo has one of the highest coffee consumption rates in the world. Coffee shops in every corner and macchiatos everywhere. Which country has more official public holidays? The correct answer is Germany. It depends on the state, but some regions have up to 14 public holidays. Which country has the oldest recorded settlement? So the oldest recorded settlement is in Germany, the city of Trier. It's founded in 16 BC by the Romans. It's Germany's oldest city.
Yeah.
Who has the highest mountain? So the highest mountain is in Germany, Zugspitze, with 2,962 meters high. It's Germany's highest peak. Which country has more dialects? The correct answer is Germany, with over 250 dialects. Some are so strong, even Germans don't understand them. Who has a more popular folk dance? The correct answer is Kosovo. Kosovo's Volja Shqiptare is more energetic and still widely practiced. Which country has more global music hits?
Global.
So both countries have a lot of musical hits. Kosovo is known for modern music, and we have Dua Lipa, Rita Ora that are dominant in global charts. And Germany is known for classical and rock music. And we know that Germany is home to Beethoven, Rammstein, and the band Scorpions. Which country eats more potatoes? The correct answer is Germany. They are also called the potato kings because they eat over 57 kilograms per person per year. Which country has the longest lunchtime? The correct answer is Kosovo. Lunchtime in Kosovo can last up to 2 to 3 hours, especially in small towns. Which country has more official languages? The correct answer is Kosovo. Kosovo's official languages are Albanian and Serbian, with Romani, Turkish, and Bosnian recognized as minority languages. Which country invented gummy bears? Well, the correct answer is Germany. Haribo invented the first gummy bears in 1922. Loyola-Gymnasium is in... well is it in Kosovo?
Congratulations!
So, this edition of Loyola Talks comes to an end. Ambassador Rohde, thank you so much for participating in our quiz and spending time with us. We hope you enjoyed it as much as we did. And now the floor is yours if you have any last words.
Yes, I just have to add one thing. The province where I come from has 5 official languages. So I'm not sure whether, when you count the regional ones, that we must be on par. So, and there's a 6th one. And maybe one more thing, which I admit, I was asked whether I was a good student. Actually, I remembered before, I mentioned before that I played a lot of football, and in grade 10 I had to repeat the whole year because I was only playing football and not going much to school. So then my father told me, if you don't work now, you have to, if you don't study now, you have to work. And I was 15 and I didn't want to work. So I put some more effort in my school career afterwards. So I'm not a model for a good student. Thank you.
So, we thank you very much, Mr. Ambassador, for coming. We have a special surprise for you. First, something from our own, let's say, kitchen. It's honey from Loyola, if we still have. And then, because you're a loyal footballer, we let you make something. Badabadam.
Good.
Thank you.
Thanks very much. First I put this here.
Danke vielmals fürs Kommen.
Thank you.
Also der ist von eigener Küche. Okay, applause again. Thank you for coming.
Thank you. Yeah. Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much for the present. Actually, I like honey very much.